Welcome back to the sanctuary of the extraordinary. You have crossed the threshold into anything you want, the premier digital destination where the curtain never truly falls, and where the stories of the stars are examined not with a magnifying glass, but with a kaleidoscope of empathy and sophistication. We are the archivists of modern romance and the connoisseurs of the good life. Today, we are not merely observing a headline. We are stepping into the velvet-roped VIP section of a life-changing night. Before we uncork the details of this exclusive evening, I extend a personal invitation to you to solidify your place in our growing family. Please, ensure you are subscribed to the channel so that the algorithm knows you demand quality storytelling. Press the like button to cast your vote for deep dive journalism. And, for the true patrons of this art form, for those who wish to sit at the head of our table, I urge you, with great enthusiasm, to click the join button right now. By becoming a member, you are not just supporting the channel, you are securing your pass to the inner sanctum of anything you want. Your support allows us to keep the lights on and the stories flowing. Now, let us turn our gaze to the shimmering lights of Istanbul. The ink had barely dried on the marriage license, and the echo of the vows was still resonating through the pastoral silence of the countryside, when a profound shift occurred in the atmosphere. We are, of course, speaking of the union between Kerem and Hande Ursel, a couple who have captivated the collective imagination of millions. Their wedding ceremony itself was a masterclass in rustic elegance, a country wedding defined by the whispering of leaves, the soft embrace of nature, and a serenity that is often absent from the chaotic lives of superstars. However, as the golden hour faded into the indigo embrace of the twilight, the narrative of their day took a sharp, vibrant turn. The couple, having fulfilled the solemnity of the sacrament, felt the magnetic pull of the metropolis. They are, after all, creatures of the city, vibrant souls whose energy resonates with the electric hum of Istanbul. Leaving behind the tranquility of the rural setting, the newlyweds embarked on a nocturnal migration back to the beating heart of the city. This was not merely a change of location, it was a transformation of spirit. They were heading toward one of Istanbul's most illustrious, pulse-pounding nightclubs, a venue known for holding the secrets of the elite. The transition was palpable. They traded the silence of the fields for the rhythmic, bass-heavy heartbeat of the urban jungle. This journey symbolized the duality of their existence, the private need for peace and the public demand for celebration. As they traveled, witnesses describe a shedding of weight. The immense pressure of the hectic wedding schedule, the months of meticulous planning, the anxiety of the guest list, the emotional gravity of the ceremony, began to evaporate like mist under the morning sun. When their vehicle finally glided to a halt at the entrance of the venue, the figures that emerged were not the stiff, posed statues one might expect from a high-stakes red carpet premiere. Instead, Kerem and Hande stepped onto the pavement radiating a simple yet elegant appearance that seemed to defy the conventions of bridal excess. Gone were the constricting stiff collars and the heavy, cumbersome trains of traditional formal wear. In their place was a style that whispered of confidence and liberation. They looked like individuals who were finally, truly comfortable in their own skin, and more importantly, profoundly comfortable in the presence of one another. The cameras were waiting, as they always are, hungry for a glimpse of the spectacle. Yet, the couple did not offer a performance, they offered authenticity. Their demeanor became the true headline of the evening. Inside the venue, shielded from the blinding flashes of the paparazzi, their attitude was described by onlookers and staff alike as friendly and natural. There was no pretension, no retreat into a glass-walled ivory tower to look down upon the masses. They mingled with a grace that is rare in their stratosphere of fame. They touched hands, they shared glances that spoke volumes, and they laughed with their eyes. It was a masterclass in genuine human connection, proving that even amidst the dizzying heights of stardom, the most attractive quality remains humility. I must pause the narrative here to ask you, the sophisticated socialites of the Anything You Want community, a question about your own ideal celebration. If you had just completed a solemn, emotional wedding ceremony, where would your spirit lead you? Would you seek the quiet solitude of a private suite to decompress, Or would you, like Kerem and Hande, dive headfirst into the electric energy of a nightclub to dance the stress away? Is the after-party the true celebration, or is it just noise? We are incredibly curious to hear your perspectives. Please, paint a picture of your dream post-wedding night in the comments section below. And while you are there, remember that clicking the join button helps us continue to ask these questions and build this community together. Who earns the right to witness the unmasked joy of two superstars? The guest list for this specific gathering was not a compilation of the who's who of high society, but rather a curated assembly of the hearts that truly matter. The couple was enveloped by their closest circle, a protective ring of loyalty that has stood the test of time. This exclusive cohort included close friends from the industry, fellow actors and directors who have seen them through the grueling hours of set life, the failures, and the triumphs. It included their representatives, the architects of their careers who have shielded them from scandals and navigated their rise to glory. And, perhaps most touchingly, it included longtime colleagues, the unsung heroes who have shared coffees at 4 a.m. and weathered the storms of production alongside them. This gathering was a sanctuary of trust. It was a room where Kerem and Hande were not required to perform the roles of the star or the idol. They could simply be. The laughter that bounced off the walls of the club was not polite or staged, it was the raucous, belly-shaking laughter of shared history, of inside jokes that require no explanation, and of a genuine, collective relief. It was the sound of a family, both biological and chosen, exhaling in unison. However, amidst the dancing and the camaraderie, the true center of the conversation, the detail that has sent ripples through the tabloids and captured the imagination of culinary enthusiasts, was the menu. For this inaugural celebration as husband and wife, the food was not merely fuel, it was a statement. The menu featured carefully selected delicacies, a culinary biography that seemed to mirror the very dynamics of their relationship. The choices were highly praised by their guests, but two specific details stood out, painting a vivid portrait of the couple's personalities through the universal language of taste. First, let us examine the choices of the groom. Kerem, a man known for his discipline, his physical dedication, and his grounded, stoic nature, reportedly gravitated towards the savory end of the spectrum. His selections were described as hearty, robust, and full of character. One can imagine perfectly seared cuts of meat, complex and savory mezes that require patience to appreciate, and dishes that offer deep, satisfying sustenance. His culinary preferences reflected his role in the partnership, solid, reliable, providing the foundational strength and the savory grounding upon which the relationship stands. Conversely, the night belonged to the effervescent spirit of Hande. The detail that became the talk of the evening was her unapologetic embrace of her sweet tooth. Hande, with her sparkling energy and her zest for life, reportedly ensured that the dessert menu was nothing short of a spectacular indulgence. We are visualizing towers of delicate profiteroles, silk-smooth artisan chocolates, and perhaps traditional Turkish delights reinvented for the modern palate. Her insistence on the sweet side of life served as the perfect counterbalance to Kerem's savory seriousness. It was a metaphor served on a porcelain plate. He provides the substance and the stability, she provides the joy, the color, and the sweetness. Together, like the perfect meal, they create a harmonious balance that is greater than the sum of its parts. This story is a feast for the senses, and we are delighted to serve it to you. If you appreciate the way we deconstruct these delicious details here on Anything You Want, please take a moment to hit the like button. It helps us serve these stories to a wider audience. And if you want to support our kitchen of writers and researchers, hit that join button today. Your membership is the secret ingredient to our success. Why is this specific night so pivotal in the saga of their romance? Because, as the reports astutely noted, the couple seemed relaxed for the first time. We often forget that weddings, despite their beauty, are performative events. You are performing for your family, honoring traditions, and managing the expectations of the public. But the after-party? That belongs to you. In the dim, amber light of the club, surrounded by the people who know their secrets and their struggles, Kerem and Hande were finally able to relinquish the burden of expectation. They were no longer the bride and groom posing for a magazine cover. They were just two human beings in love, devouring their favorite foods, moving to the rhythm of their favorite songs, and realizing, with a profound sense of accomplishment, that they had pulled it off. They had survived the scrutiny, the rumors, and the immense pressure of the public eye to reach this moment of pure, unadulterated joy. The night eventually succumbed to the dawn, as all nights must. The music faded, and the lights came up. But the memory of that celebration? The contrasting tastes of the savory and the sweet, the sound of uninhibited laughter, and the sight of Kerem and Hande dancing in the center of their own universe, will linger in the minds of those who were present. They have demonstrated to us all that the best celebrations are not defined by the grandest fireworks or the most expensive decor, but by the presence of the truest friends and the quality of the dessert. Thank you for attending this exclusive party with us on Anything You Want. We hope this narrative of joy, liberation, and culinary delight has lifted your spirits. We leave you with one final curiosity: what would be the star of your wedding after-party menu? Are you strictly team savory like Kerem, seeking the robust and the hearty? Or are you team sweet like Hande, believing that life is too short to skip dessert? Please, tell us your choice in the comments below. We read every single one. And finally, this is your last reminder for this video to click that join button. Support independent, deep dive storytelling and become a pillar of this community. Until the next bottle is popped and the next secret is revealed, remember, life is a banquet, so eat the dessert first. This is Anything You Want, signing off.